This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Delmarva Dental Services.
Well, by now you've probably recognized more and more people are turning to vaping as an alternative to cigarettes. E-cigarettes, as they're called, are often branded as a healthier alternative to the traditional cigarette.
But as with a lot of trending topics, there's still plenty of debate regarding what e-cigarettes do and don't do to your lungs. Well, we're not getting into that debate today, but we are taking a closer look at vaping's impact on your mouth. So to help with that, we welcome Dr. Lee Auke, a dentist with Delmarva Dental Services, to Historic Studio D today. Thank you so much for joining us
Thanks
today.
for having me. Good morning.
First off, let me just lay some groundwork here. Vaping is not the same as smoking a cigarette.
No, so vaping was actually first developed in China in 2003, and then it hit America in 2006, 2007, but it wasn't regulated by the FDA until 2016, so that just happened. And it's a three-part device, handheld, of course. I think it comes in many different varieties, but essentially it's a battery component, a heating element, and then a liquid-containing cartridge. So what you do with it is you purchase this either pre-made or like a DIY kit in some of the vaping stores. Right. Liquid, which contains flavoring. It contains all kinds of chemicals like formaldehyde, lead, aluminum, nickel, the same kind of stuff that you would find in cigarettes, maybe in lesser amounts, but it's still in there. And then it may or may not contain nicotine. So you could have a range from about 0 milligrams, if there's none, all the way up to 36 milligrams per milliliter of nicotine. Just as a comparison, an average cigarette only contains 12 milligrams of nicotine. It really ranges from 8 to 20. So if you're using 36 milligrams of nicotine in your e-cigarette, that's 3 times the amount of an average cigarette.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what impact does it have on your mouth?
So common things that you might see similar to a cigarette is the liquid, the vaporizing liquid hits your mouth at its hottest temperature. Okay, you've just heated it up, it goes in your mouth. So we see burns on the palate, or what we would call stomatitis. So it's like white patches with little pinprick red spots. Usually not painful and not necessarily cancer, but it's there on the roof of your mouth. You can also see dry mouth. And you can also see a lot of gum problems. So the menthol that's in cigarettes and in the e-cigarettes can break down the periodontal ligament, which is the space around the roots of the teeth. So you're causing destruction of the gum tissues and the surrounding area around the teeth. And then you've got the nicotine, which is a vasoconstrictor, meaning less blood flow to your gum tissues and the tissues in your mouth. Not good, right? So the problem with that is, unfortunately, gum disease can be misdiagnosed because the vasoconstriction is meaning less bleeding. You're not seeing the typical signs we see in periodontal disease because it's being masked by what's happening with the components of the vape and the cigarette. Yeah.
Wow. So big picture on this. I mean, we're still kind of early in the game. We haven't done all the studies on this yet, have we?
Right. So it's really not a whole lot of research. Like I said, just started being regulated very recently. And the scary thing is that a lot of people think it's totally harmless. So even when they've got these sores in their mouth or whatever, they don't attribute it to the vaping. And just a statistic, in 2015, 3 million middle and high school age students were surveyed and are using vape, which is up 500,000 from just the year before. So,
wow.
Yeah, young kids,
So other than the sores in the mouth, are there any other signs that may indicate a problem from vaping? Right,
so definitely dry mouth, and that is because of just the process of the vaping, and then also a dry cough. The inhaled liquid can dry out in the bronchioles of the lungs, and then side effects of the dry mouth, you could get root surface decay. As that gum recedes from the other chemicals that are in there, you may start to get more decay, more sensitivity in your teeth, that kind of stuff. So, and bad breath. Bad breath.
I was going to ask you about that, because some of it smells kind of sweet, but...
Right, and you can flavor it in a million different ways from what I understand, but when you decrease your salivary flow because of the nicotine or any vasoconstrictors or some of the chemicals that are in there, obviously you're going to get buildup of bacteria within your mouth, and that can cause your breath to smell bad.
All right, so the bottom line, if somebody tells you they're going to take up vaping,
no, don't start. No,
don't start.
No, I mean, we know that cigarettes are bad for you. We don't have all the research on vaping, but it still contains these chemicals. It can still be containing nicotine. You're still inhaling something into your mouth that's burning hot. Just the research would tell you, and experts will still say, if you're not doing it now, don't start.
All right, Dr. Aki.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Sure.
Very informative indeed. And to read more about Delmarva Dental Services, just go to delmarvalife.com.